Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, 4D. Good evening, Viv.
Good evening, 4D. Good evening, Bronze.
It is Thursday, the 22nd of January, 2026. Storm in a Teacup, episode 49. We're on the cusp, I have to say, of a couple of landmarks as far as we're concerned. Obviously, next week will be the 50th, our 50th published episode. And the week after that will be our 51st, which will actually be the year's anniversary since we started doing this.
Really?
Surely 52 weeks.
Yeah, we missed one out, a new year though, didn't we?
Oh God, you're very clever.
Oh,
very
no,
good.
51. Yeah, that'd be right. 51 will be our 1 year anniversary since we started publishing our meaningless drivel.
Yeah.
It's quite cool to think that we've been doing it that long.
Yeah, it's random. It's sort of random, kind of directionless chatting, like you'd get down the pub or down the social club or whatever. It's completely unplanned.
Well, and everything about it. I think that's what I like. Us three coming together couldn't have been more random, you know. It's all very random. It's cool.
Because I mean, when we did first start chatting, there was four of us, really, wasn't there? I mean, I think when we first all got together, because there's lots of other people on this platform, and I think a load of us came on and had a chat just out of curiosity to just actually speak to each other, and then most of them just dropped away, and it ended up with four of us, and then the other person dropped away, and it just sort of remained the three of us, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's all right, isn't it? It's all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's been another fantastic week. I don't know if fantastic is the right word to use, actually, but it's been a crazy week.
It's been pretty hilarious, I reckon.
Well, it certainly does feel like overall things have moved up a gear since we entered the new year. We have just things feel a bit different now than they did, you know. Just generally sort of global news wise, I think.
And, I was watching I said I watched the whole of the Donald Trump thing at the WEF, and even that there was a very different air in the room, and you know, I don't think he's getting the Mickey taken out of him as much anymore. I think people are now shutting up and listening to him. It was a very scorched earth. I know, Bronze, you listened to some of it. Did you listen to it at all, Viv?
Little bit, not much, to be honest. You know, what can I say?
The gloves were certainly off. Like,
yeah.
Previously, he is a mouth. He's good at what he's a good talker. And he's very very brash, and he's very confident. But this year was a definite. I'm in charge here, and you're going to do as you're told, or the world is going to end, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, he has all the leverage.
Yeah,
and they know it, and there's nothing they can do. I mean, one or two of them are kind of you know, making noises, trying to sort of stand up and push back, but it's hopeless at the end of the day. I mean, the whole thing with I mean, the whole Davos thing has just been, he's just dominated that. Him and his whole crew have dominated that. I posted that clip up about Lutnick and what he was saying, basically saying how globalism, forget it, it's done. You're done. And there was a great line he ended it with saying that this whole green agenda, this whole renewable energy, how Europe and the UK are completely buying into this, but they're signing their own death warrant because what do you need for renewable energy? You need batteries, and the UK and Europe don't make batteries. Who makes batteries?
Ah,
China makes batteries. You know,
It's what that was one of my highlights from Donald Trump's speech. He said we've got a lot of stupid people in Europe. They're all buying wind farms and solar panels, and he said, funny old thing, or the way Trump says it, funny old thing. All of the solar panels and thingies are made in China. He said, and every time I've been to China, I've had a look, and I can't find a single farm that's generating energy from the wind or the sun. She said, I think there's a bit of a con going on here. You're buying the stuff that they don't even put up in their own country.
Well, yeah, I'm not even sure it's stupidity. I mean, he's framing it that way, and yeah, it is stupid. It is stupid, but because this sort of touches on a few other things which have been going on, which I've kind of which have caught my interest. There's this whole thing about Greenland, okay, and it's quite obvious. I mean, Trump has made no bones about it. He wants Greenland. He's going for it, and he's going to get it one way or another. He's going to get it. And this is all to do with the Monroe Doctrine. You know, he's securing the border south of the USA. You know, Central America, Venezuela. He's getting that all sorted. Now he's going for the north, and because Venezuela was a massive hub for Chinese activity, which was considered a threat to the security of the USA. He's saying Greenland is the same because there's lots of naval activity, Russian and Chinese naval activity around Greenland, so that's why he wants Greenland. And so it's kind of you know, it's kind of framing China really as the main threat, and there's a couple of stories about China. One was in the UK just recently, this whole thing about this new Chinese embassy. They want permission to open this new Chinese super embassy in London.
Well, they've got permission now, haven't they?
Yes. Well, this is it. First of all, they already have an embassy, so why they need a new one? And there was all this investigation. I think it was by one of the newspapers about how this new embassy building. It's actually the old Royal Mint building. It's over near by Tower Bridge, and it had all these secret underground rooms. And also how it was very, very close to this underground fiber optic data cable. And there's all these concerns about how the Chinese might be able to tap into all of this data cable and basically kind of spy and get all this information from it. Now, you know, it stands to reason. I mean, China is pretty much the biggest. I mean, if you consider the UK as being a free, democratic democracy, you know, free speech, freedom of thought, etc., the CCP, the globalist CCP, would be one of the biggest opponents to that. And any doubts about them, about China, the Chinese wanting to open this kind of building or whatever in London, you know, that it could be very easy for them to spy. They got all this underground rooms and stuff. It's like any doubts, you'd kind of think, no, forget that. We're not going to do that. But they were granted permission. So to me, it's like who on you know, quote unquote our side is benefiting from that. It's got to be some benefit for them to grant that in the first place.
Ideologically, the British government love China.
Exactly.
They're turning Britain into China.
It's globalist. It's the globalists. It's
the globalists. Yeah, and what they don't realise is the world is turning into. It is multipolar. There's Russia, China, and America, and then there's Europe tagging along. Europe is destroying itself, as we know, as we've discussed so many times. And if the Chinese think that we're a free and democratic country, then they've really got the wrong idea about this country. Well, they must know that we're moving into a totalitarian future.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I believe that you know we you know, none of us believe that we live in a free democratic country anymore. We certainly don't have a government which espouses freedom and democracy. So and it seems quite, you know, they're quite happy to bend over for China. Also the second part of that was also Mark Carney, the globalist puppet Prime Minister of Canada, announced as well last week. I think it was last week. He made this speech, which was kind of gave a lot away. Announced his big deal that Canada, or the globalists controlling Canada, had done with China. And also, he happened to mention the New World Order in that speech as well.
Oh, yes, I noticed that.
So he's kind of trying to make a stand. Carney is, the globalists. He's a central banker globalist. He is, as globalist central banker as you'll get. He used to be the governor of the Bank of England, by the way.
Correct.
And so he is obviously trying to make a stand against what Trump is doing, because Trump's going for Greenland, he's going for Central America, and Canada is obviously, if he gets Greenland, Canada's sort of right in between. So Canada is going to go as well. He's going to get Canada as well. So it looks like Carney's trying to stand his ground, but he's just going to get taken out by the momentum of it all, I think. So yeah, China, it's kind of like China, you know.
Yeah, I bring it back to the Q stuff, saying that all our leaders are compromised, as Viv likes to bring up a lot as well. Is that I think even with us three sitting here guessing what's going on, I think even they're guessing, because they're so compromised. They have to do what they're, and it probably is the Chinese CCP that pride. 50 years ago, they started saying, right, we're going to compromise these world leaders, and they'll start doing what we tell them to do. And here we are today. All our leaders are compromised. They've got real dodgy dirt on all of them, because they're all filthy creatures. And Trump, because again, I think it's not a far stretch to say he must be a very clean person, because the amount of hatred he had out there, and they've got nothing on him. Everything's fallen to the wayside. It's and stuff like that. We haven't heard anything like that. So he's clearly not compromised. There's lots of stories about him working for the FBI when he was a youngster as well. So, but whatever, he's not compromised because he's got nothing on him. So he's able to walk into the WF and do what he wants, and it's probably quite frustrating to the rest of them, because they've all got their handlers. They've all got to do as they're told. Otherwise, we, the general public, find out the true scumbag, what they're into. Skullduggery,
the scumbaggery. Yeah,
that's better. Cheers. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what can I say about this? China's not really a communist country anymore. It's a hybrid between a kind of new sort of capitalism, industrialized capitalism, and a communist panopticon surveillance society. And the leaders of the other countries love it. Whether they're compromised by China or not, I'm not sure. I don't know. I think there's a lot of compromise going on, compromat, as the Russians called it. But most certainly, China is loved. Now, China has been very, very clever about all of this. Very, very clever. They're building the Belt and Road system, which is not necessarily physical, although partly physical. They're into Africa. They're the world's manufacturing. How did this happen? Why? Because because Western governments sold out to China. They sold out to China, and I talked about outsourcing the other day, but it's just outsourcing on a major scale. All our industries have gone over to China, or to a lesser degree, India, Taiwan. These are that area is rising. I mean, look at Vietnam, destroyed by war in the 60s by a rapacious, quite a foolish war, really. And Vietnam have now built themselves into a powerhouse. And they don't seem to bear too many grudges against America and France, who instigated the Vietnamese war. They've just ignored them. China are ignoring the West. The West especially Europe, are now pumping themselves up, saying, "Oh, you know, we're important, we're big." No, 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 no. Axis of power has moved away from Europe. We are hamstrung here. We can't do anything. Whereas in a country like Vietnam, say, there are no regulations. There are not even any fucking traffic signs. It's a natural order. It's an emergent natural order. Left to their own devices, humans would find a way. Okay, you know, but controlled, absolutely controlled to the nth degree. We can't build anything. We can't do anything without permission. We can't even fart without permission because that's adding methane to the atmosphere. We are messed up.
Well, look, I think.
Go on for
I was going to say, I think America. If we take America in one hand and North Korea in the other hand, there's all the proof you need that the freer your society is, the cleverer, the more. Because the Americans are very, very clever. They have got they're probably the last bastion of free speech in the Western world, and the likes of Elon Musk come from that, and all the bad people we talk about, they're still very, very clever and free to design and to come up with ideas. And it always makes me think back to the ideas of Tataria, you know, this idea that we weren't so controlled, and as you've just said, human beings are actually really clever people. It's the only thing that stifles us is the control factor. I don't think North Koreans are born any dumber than Americans, but I do think after 100 years of being whipped into line, you just become dumber, because what's the point in innovating?
Yeah. And you can't, even your innovation is then seized by the state for their own purposes. So
depression's a powerful tool. I've suffered on and off with depression for 10 years now, and you know, if you've got a population of depressed people, when I'm depressed, I don't want to do absolutely anything. All I want to do is that idea that people are depressed, they just want to not be here anymore. So, you know, that's the problem. It's depression or happiness.
Yeah, and I feel that work, in my case, I'm subject to low mood, depression, etc. I feel that work gives me structure. You know, I forget about stuff. I'm working. I'm not thinking about anything else. And it's like, you know, you're stuck in an office environment. You're stuck in a manufactory in North Korea or in China, and you haven't got time to think. You haven't got time to get depressed. You've structured your life, but you're a cattle. You're cattle, really. You're not a free human to fully express the absolute miracle of life that you've been given. You're here on Earth experiencing.
But we do like to work. But I think that's half of my depression is not working, because I don't have anything to do. And
yeah,
to a certain extent, I'm a little bit jealous of you, where you do, like you said, you get out, you experience life, you talk to other people, whether you like the conversation or not is irrelevant. You're out there. And there's a great pride, certainly from a man's point of view. There's a great pride in going away, doing something, whatever you're doing, and you come away and you go, "Oh, I did that," and that gives you a bit of pride, bit of self-confidence, bit of spring in your step.
But I'm still reading David Graeber's Bullshit Jobs, and he's not wrong. So many jobs are bullshit now, just bullshit. You know, especially council jobs. You can't really get sacked from the council. Once you get a council job, you're okay. You're going to be all right. You don't really even have to work. You know. So I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, I wonder about my job. Is it? I understand the purpose of it, but what greater good does it serve, really? Don't know.
I always thought about, I mean, I've kind of had that thought about jobs before. It's like, what am I actually doing here? What is this job achieving? Because you're not making anything. You're not creating anything really, and you're not really adding anything to, unless you have like a skill or a trade. You know,
Yeah.
if you're a carpenter or you're a stonemason or a builder or even an
Yeah.
artist,
Oh,
you're creating
especially
something, you know.
especially an
Yeah,
artist,
But if you
especially
yeah. But go
yeah.
on, go on.
yeah, but
Sorry, go on.
if you, I mean, you know, even like your jobs like a street cleaner, that is a proper essential job because
Yep.
you may not be creating something, but you are maintaining something, an essential. It's essential maintenance, isn't it?
Yep.
But answering phones, really,
Yeah.
I'm
No.
not, you know, I'm not singling you out, Viv, but
No.
you know, working in a call center, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of meaningless, really, isn't it? At
Yeah.
the end of the day.
It is. If you're driving a truck, delivering stuff, keeping supply lines open, yeah, good.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
fine.
well, I'm going to jump in because I'm going to say that's the problem. I know. I think I don't want to give anything away about anyone's jobs. Both of your jobs bring other people joy, and I'm trying to do this as easy as way
Excuse
without
me.
giving anything away. But you help people. You both help people, and certainly
Yeah.
Viv's job. I'm going to say, like, it's so important at the minute because everything's going to AI and computers. I think being able to pick up a phone and moan to a human being about my PlayStation, if Viv's a PlayStation person on the phone, I don't care if I'm shouting at him, I don't care if I'm having a nice conversation with him. He is doing me a great service. So
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in and go, no, I think he is doing a good service.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
I mean,
mate.
but
Thank you,
it's,
mate. People say this to me as well, and that gives me great, you know, that gives
yeah,
me a bit of satisfaction. They say, "Thank God I'm speaking to a human."
yeah,
Sometimes they'll say, "Thank God I'm speaking to someone who's English, who talks English."
That as well.
You
Yeah,
know,
well, yeah.
uh,
Well, let's just put some context on this, right? Because this is like a symptom of the world we live in. It's like, you know, the only industry that this country really has is service industry now. You know,
yeah,
we don't
Mm.
produce anything, we don't manufacture anything, we don't. And although yes, taken on its own, what Viv does is, you know, for the reasons you specifically said there, Viv, I get that. Yeah, when you phone up someone wanting some help or advice about something, you want to speak to a real human being, and you want to speak to somebody who speaks English and understands you, and you can understand them. But it never used to be like that. If you went and bought something from a shop and you brought it home and it didn't work anymore, what did you do? You
take it
went back
back.
to the shop and you spoke to the person in the shop, you know.
Yeah, no,
You didn't have to phone them up. It's like, oh, I'm going to go back to the shop and speak to the guy, and they would be helpful. They would help you as much as they could. Surely that's a much better thing to do than sit on a phone for half an hour just trying to get to speak to someone, going through all of these, you know, press 5 for this, press 1 for this. If you want,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and you're on the phone half an hour before you've even got anywhere, you know, and then you put on hold listening some banal supermarket music, you know. It's just like, oh god. And you know, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
respect, it's yeah, it's awful,
yeah,
in my
100%,
opinion.
100%.
And even
I,
what I do, sorry, Viv, let me, and I
yeah,
mean, you referred to me, 4D. Even what I do, like, once again, not giving away what I do. Yes, it is helpful, but it's not the only option. There are
Yeah. Yeah.
alternatives. So
Mhm.
it's not necessary. It's not absolutely necessary what I do. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's not really absolutely necessary, the specifics of what me and Viv do, you know.
No, but I think, wow, I know. You well, if you can't find pride in what you do, then you're definitely in the wrong job as well. No, I'm
Well,
still
I
going to
have
say
pride
you
in what I
get
do. I have
something
pride in
out
what
of
I
it.
do. Yeah,
mm,
I do
mm,
have pride in what I do.
mm.
But still, it's kind of like a, you know, I think what we're talking about is a more overarching kind of view of this. I think, in terms of just, I mean, it started off by us saying we need to be, you know, working is good for us. Doing work is good for our mental state. It makes us feel more engaged and more active. And then of course that kind of goes on to, well, you know, the jobs that we that we do should actually be worthwhile.
I think it's all about
Yeah.
social cohesion, really. I think when we, if we were to carry this conversation on to its conclusion, somewhere down there, we would. It is really about, as I say, getting out there, talking to someone, bit of cohesion, and yeah, going back to that. I mean,
I remember as a kid, right? I mean, now we have, I know, Viv, you might really not understand what I'm talking about here, but we have this thing called council tax that most of us have to pay. And, and when I was a kid, that used to be called the rates. It used to be called rates. And I remember my parents used to, we have to go and pay the rates today. And this was before the internet. And they used to have to go down to the town hall. And they'd go into the town hall and you'd have this payment, all these kind of cashiers. And they go and they'd actually, give the money through the counter and they'd pay the rates. And that was it. And whereas now it's all, it's all automated. You don't even have to have any contact with anybody. They send you a bill and you either set up an online payment system or do as I do. I go and pay cash at my local corner store because they take payments. And it's, it's just sort of, it's also impersonal.
From the day I left school, I've heard people saying to me, computers are going to make your life better. Computers are going to make life quicker. Here we are in 2026. They haven't. They have not made any of our lives quicker. They've made it slower. They haven't made it any more enjoyable. They said we'd have more free time. I've got lots of free time and it's not good. Either way, this fourth industrial revolution that we've limped through for the last 20, 30 years, 40 years, it is clearly not where we're supposed to be going. It's not working. The ant hill doesn't survive. It's falling apart.
Well,
Are we meant to work? Are we meant to just, that's another great question. Not meant to, I don't know if that's the right thing, but are we happier just roaming the plains, digging up vegetables, killing the odd animal and dancing around a bonfire? Or are we happier having a structured life with working and 8 hours here and 8 hours there? I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on autonomy, doesn't it? It depends on your autonomy. We're little more than slaves in this society. We pay tribute to Caesar. Nothing's changed since the days of the pharaohs. At least a medieval peasant tilled his own land. It was at the mercy of the seasons, but knew what he was doing. Get the harvest in, in some ways it was freer than we are today.
Well, yeah. I think one thing has changed. In those days, people knew they were slaves. These days, most people don't realize it that they are.
So we pay tribute to a state that doesn't care for us, despises us, looks down on us, and takes our money and spunks it on absurd and ridiculous things that have no real relevance to our everyday lives. Happy days.
I only come to have this chat to cheer myself up. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Well, we are being particularly cynical tonight, but then again, why not? Well, why not? We have to speak these things. We have to say this shit. And we have to say our particular truths. I thought we were allowed to do that. Wasn't that one of the things? Speak your truth. No. Oh, you can't do that.
It has to be the right truth.
I think it's maybe we don't always achieve it, but we are kind of criticizing things. Essentially, we are criticizing society and the world, and we can put it down one or two ways. We can be constructive or we can be destructive. And destructive criticism is just having a go at it and knocking it down without providing any kind of solution, any kind of alternative. So being constructive, like I said, we don't always achieve it because sometimes there doesn't seem to be a way out because things do seem so bleak. But we do actually, on occasion, I think, do manage to say it shouldn't be this way; it should be that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think after I've visited the small bathroom, I won't take long.
As opposed to the big bathroom.
Oh yeah, that's my one. I keep that for special occasions. That's the one with the gold taps and the gold toilet.
Yeah, that's the one we have the servant in there with the towel over his arm.
Yeah. Would say like aftershave or perfume.
Going to the little boys' room is more of a Goonies joke, where it's no, I always go to the big man's room. Thank you very much.
Yeah, little boys' room. Where's that one come from? Let's go to the shitter.
Yeah,
let's go to the shitter.
Carsey.
The Carsey, yeah. The crapper.
Yeah,
invented by Thomas Crapper.
That's right. Yeah, actually named after the guy who invented it. Brilliant.
Anyway,
while he goes to the uses the say again.
Sorry, I was going to say
while he uses the little boys' room, I see Don the Lemon is having loads of problems in America at the moment.
Yeah, geez, I mean, what an idiot that guy is.
What an absolute idiot! Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wow, I don't know. Really, it's just I just hope he gets what's coming to him. Like all of these people are just gone absolutely crazy. They've just lost their minds. I just hope that they all get prosecuted to the letter of the law. I really do, because they deserve it.
Yeah, because he's another one with Trump derangement syndrome, and he has had from the beginning, like them all, and. It's, slowly but surely they all seem to be having their little comeuppances.
Yeah, I know. I can't really explain it. It's just they are so stupid. They are really thick. That's the best I can do, I'm afraid. They've been completely brainwashed. They're completely deluded. They've lost their minds.
Well, as I say, I suppose. Imagine if you'd been in that environment all your life and you knew that, you knew that what you were saying was lies and it was all set up and the world wasn't what, you get this. He probably got quite a power trip from thinking he knew more than the average person. And suddenly that's all been, I think that's been stripped away from them and it's been stripped down behind their backs, and they really don't actually. It's half. Yes, it is. They're dumb, but I don't even think they realise they've been so used to getting away with it for so long that they can't imagine a world where they can't get away with it.
Well, yeah, I mean they've been in a bubble, in their little media bubble. I mean, he in particular, he had his show on whatever it was. I can't remember if it was either CNN or MSNBC, and that got axed. And I think then he's desperate now to try and stay relevant. And he started doing a podcast and he started doing these interviews on the streets. And apparently he's just not getting any, enough reaction to satisfy his ego. And so he's now started kind of jumping on this anti-ICE thing and started pulling all these stunts.
Who's that?
Don Lemon.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and
it looks like he's going to be arrested. It's very funny.
It's FAFO, isn't it? Really, that's what it's going to boil down to. So yeah, it looks like Tim Waltz and did that. The mayor of Minnesota? What's the guy's name? Fry, I think his name is Jake Fry. Maybe I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, they're all just really overstepping the mark. And the funny thing is, comparisons have been made to ICE operations under Obama and previous Democrats. I think Obama. There was a lot of ICE operations under Obama, even under Biden, I think, and nothing like this at all. There was no opposition to it. Nothing. And this is no different.
There were more deportations under Obama than there are under Donald Trump.
Exactly. It all comes down to Trump derangement syndrome. They hate Donald Trump. and that is all it is at the end of the day. Because
because he's bringing down that curtain, he's bringing down the facade. I think we've all surmised this since the beginning, but I do really genuinely think him, Putin, and other various leaders are working together to completely change the world from what the old guard had set up. And I think it's obvious it doesn't work. It's no good. And for better or worse, between them, they've come up with what they think is a better idea. I think the Monroe Doctrine is probably heavily into it, where America is going to take control of 1/3 of the world, Russia the same, and same for China, and somehow they're going to come up with some, because it sounds like a lot of trade, like tariffs and all of those things. I think that's all going to get stripped away. So they must have come up with a new way of running the world, I suppose.
Well, it does seem that kind of lines are being drawn more definitely now. Trump's come up with this board of peace thing, which really does seem to be an alternative to the United Nations. that really looks like what it's going to turn out to be, or what its intention is. And all these countries are signing up to it, and other countries are not. And it's kind of creating it's like, okay, whose side are you on now? And it's sort of exposing once again where people or regimes or countries really stand. The
part that I don't like is he's assigned Tony Blair as envoy to peace in Gaza, isn't he?
That is something that's a weird one.
That's really weird.
That remains to be seen, because Tony Blair is the spawn of Satan. There's no two ways about it. So what? I mean, Trump must know what Blair's about. So I can only imagine that it's a setup of some kind. I can only hope that that's what it is. I think he's doing modern day honeypots, where it's not a woman that's the pull anymore. It's money and status, and he's put out all these new honeypots to people, and maybe it's going to be another downfall for Tony Blair in the public eye, like he did with Biden. And that's the other thing. While he's off doing the WEF, I love the idea that the Clintons are both now in contempt of court. Yeah.
No one ever thought he was going to get anything with them two, but it's coming along.
Yeah. I mean, they've been indicted, so we'll see with that. But at the end of the day, what difference will it really make? Even if they're arrested, even if they're arrested, they won't go to jail. Even if they're found guilty, because Bill Clinton can't go to jail because he's an ex-president. So the best they can do with him is put him under house arrest, because of security and this, that, and the other. Hillary Clinton, I'm not so sure, but these people are worthy of being prosecuted and having some kind of punishment. But this is not, the head of the snake. It's the head of the snake which needs to be removed, rather than just the tentacles.
For sure, yeah. But I think it'd be I think it's probably a call to the deep state, I suppose.
Oh yeah, it'll be hugely symbolic. Yeah, it'll be massive. In that respect, absolutely, definitely. But
it reminds me. There's that early Q post of, it says something like the first arrest will trigger something, or I forget how it ends. But
mass population awakening and
Yes, yeah.
And it'll be the marker for future direction or something like that. Yeah. And I do think, again, we've kind of double guessed all of or I certainly have, of a lot of the Q stuff, but that would certainly be big enough to trigger a worldwide awakening. First arrest, it's hard to say. It's hard to define what the first arrest is. We've had arrests already, We've had Maduro, we've had Comey, a few others. So even
Epstein could have been that.
Epstein, of course. Epstein, yeah.
Yeah.
You could
I
argue
often thought that was possibly for a lot of normies, when he killed himself in his cell, I think that might have been a massive awakening thing.
I mean, you could argue that Trump was arrested when he was indicted. That kind of amounts to an arrest, doesn't it?
Oh, true, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, sort of a definitely a juridical process. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So it could have several meanings. That one, it's kind of ambiguous, like a lot of the Q stuff.
Yes, yeah, that
may well have been intentional. You know, it could be applied to several things, and nothing at all at the same time.
Yeah, that was the worst. It's the annoying thing about any of it. Yeah.
Trump derangement syndrome is very interesting, isn't it? It seems to me to be, although it comes a lot from liberalism, or rather from liberals, it's not a liberal idea, though. It's a fascist idea from Carl Schmitt, who defined politics as being quite simply the distinction between friend and enemy. So it's rather than consensus, rather than I don't know, getting people raising all boats. Schmitt's idea, who was a Nazi jurist in the years of the Third Reich, defined politics as being the distinction between friend and enemy, and also furthermore asserting that the validity of any moral or legal rule comes from an authority's decision, not the content. So you make that decision. So people who are seeing Trump as an enemy are actually espousing a kind of Nazi doctrine, but it's also in group, out group, psychology, and so you choose this to be the sort of person you want to be, rather than saying, well, maybe Trump's got some good points and he's got some bad points, but let's look at this, in the basis of national good. But no.
Well, it is remarkable, isn't it? It is remarkable. It has to be. We're living in a time of psyops now, psychological operations, and the whole TDS has to be one of the most successful ones in the last few years, because it's so pervasive and so deep. It has really worked. It has really worked on people it's worked on. It has really worked.
Oh yeah.
And I think about it, and you kind of think, well, I kind of think, yeah, okay, you can find things not to like about public people, no problem. We all do that. About politicians we like, politicians we don't like, but we never get to that point of just having this obsession. Even, I mean, we all absolutely despise Starmer, yeah, but we don't have Starmer derangement syndrome, do we?
No.
I mean, we don't have anything. We hardly have anything good to say about him. But we don't obsess about him. We don't think about him. We don't hate him with every fibre of our being, and just consider his downfall every second of our waking lives.
No,
which is what people with TDS seem to do with Trump, and it does seem to have been really, really kind of brought about mainly by the media in all its forms.
Yeah, and it's another difference between the left and the right. I hate to put it down to simplistic terms like that, but I do find that on the left they are a little bit more immature, normally a little bit younger as well, but they don't. Yeah, they can, as you say. I despise every single fibre of Starmer's being, but I can't even be bothered to.
Well, we take the piss. Totally, we kind of laugh about it more than get angry, don't we, about Starmer?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
And that's the difference. They're just in a state of just anger, deranged anger all the time about Trump.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? I mean,
it is.
Starmer fills me with inertia and boredom. If anything else, if nothing else, just sheer tedium. Thinking, oh my god, this is our so-called leader. If that's a leader, I don't want a fucking leader, mate. But is this the best we've got?
Well, no. I think just going back to something you mentioned there, Viv, it's about people choose. This is a choice they make. And it's I mean, it may start from being kind of like a political stance. You know, in for instance, you may be in the US, you may be a lifelong Democrat. Okay, you may have always voted Democrat, and so you get Trump running for the Republicans, so immediately you're going to be biased against him. And then he does stuff. His outward persona maybe kind of adds a bit of that. You know, maybe that kind of gets on your nerves because he seems to be, you know, all his mean tweets and his name calling and this, that, and the other. But then it just gets completely piled on by the media that you absorb, and most of the media has been anti-Trump. Most of the Western media in this country, we have, you know, I know people who have TDS in this country, and I just cannot understand it. It's like, you know, how can you have TDS? How can you be that? How can you just hate him so viscerally like that? I do not get it. You know, sure, dislike him, don't take him seriously, whatever. But out, you know, absolute hatred. I don't get it. You know, I do not get it. How did you get to that position? What is it that's made you turned you into that?
If you believe in political democracy, then just wait, and someone else will come in.
Well, yeah, I know, but I just don't understand it. I don't understand it at all.
No, well, it is. There's a lot of psychology. There's a lot of political psychology within this as well. As I said, the distinction between friend and enemy, and then interior psychology. The need to belong. So a lot of your mates, well, you know, you'll gravitate towards certain people, perhaps, but also this idea of belonging, of having a friend and an enemy, of being an in group and an out group, and that's very superficial. You know, I mean, I've got a lot of friends who are liberals, who are also in UK terms, of course, liberal means something different to America. Left wing as well. Of course, I've been out with left wing women. Yeah, cool, no problem. You know, I don't even call myself a right winger. I'm more of just an outsider, I suppose.
You do come from the left, though, Viv, don't you? You do come from the left side of politics.
Yeah. Of course, old school left.
You've never been a right wing. You've never been a right winger at all, have you?
Interesting. Well, I've certainly been a traditionalist. I've certainly been, you know, that old school left that's pretty much gone. That was into tradition and keeping, you know, a kind of conservative, a bit like, that's why I like Paul Embry. He's the one of the few remnants of that old school left that sort of believes in communities, solidity of communities, helping each other, trade unions which improve your work, which they don't anymore. It's all been captured, of course. Yeah, but most certainly I've gone over to libertarianism, anarchism since then, and certain right wing ideas. I mean, I don't even really believe in the distinction between left and right. I think it's a false distinction in a lot of senses. I mean, it comes from the French Revolution, when one side sat on the left side of the chamber, the other side sat on the right. So I don't know. I think it's been a division that politicians and controllers and powers that shouldn't be have used to divide people. We should all come together and make a better world. That's all. You know. I'm not ranting about capitalism. I'm not ranting about. Well, maybe I would rant a bit about bosses, but a fair day's work for a fair day's pay for a fair day's work, all that kind of thing, and that's now been discarded. That's looked upon as far right. Weird.
Yeah. Anything common sense is now far right, really.
Well, yeah, of course. So in that sense, yeah. Also, I'm against immigration, uncontrolled immigration, of course. And that makes me right wing. I'm for the preservation of the English countryside, of English culture, because I'm English and I'm deeply imbued with English culture. I'm English. I can't be anything else. I'm not pretending to be some kind of Ponzi internationalist. Like I went to Spain and I met some wrinkly peasants and they were just wonderful. It was so natural. Yeah, come on. Yeah.
No, well
Yeah,
said. Well
it's.
said.
I mean,
You're spot on about the left and right thing. It's meaningless now.
yeah.
The goalposts have shifted so much that it's unrecognisable. So yeah.
I often say I only grew up as a conservative because my granddad was a staunch Tory, and I got all my, as a young boy, I got all my sort of advice from him. So I only went that way because of that, really. And I think most of us will be products of our childhood. But then you grow up to a certain extent. I'm like Viv, where I don't really see a distinction between left and right. I always bring it down to that it's either small government or big government for me. I don't get into all the minutiae. I just think to myself, I like little government. I don't want big government, and that's kind of where I sit. And wherever that is, then that's where I am.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, I'm completely against the surveillance state. That's the whole thing. I mean, I've been on marches for freedom. I've been against digital identity. I've been against the fourth industrial revolution, and I've been against that. I've realised for a very, very long time. If that makes me left wing or right wing, so what? I mean, it's just the way I am. You know, I haven't changed, but politics has changed. You know,
That's yeah. I think we all put it down to it was after Tony Blair. It really Tony Blair changed our politics and changed our. It changed it from being a middle class professional man's thing to we're all just helping each other and we're all part of a new freedom. I can't even remember the terminology he came up with, but it just changed politics forever.
Well, I mean, yeah. Just very quickly, Blair, and particularly the hypocrite, who was the deputy prime minister, who said he'd never accept. He was against the House of Lords, but then, Mr. John Prescott becomes Lord, whatever he's become. You know, come on, stand by your beliefs, stand by your truths. You know, and make the world and you know. You want to make a better world, do you? Is that right? Or is it for everyone, or is it just for a few people, just for your mates? Are you somewhat kind of oligarch? Are you know, I mean, the Labour Party used to be for working class people. Well, they're completely against working class people now, as we've seen by Raise the Flags.
Well, I mean, explain to me how you can have a left government and a right government, and you can have Mr. Farage pulling people from both bloody sides into his, like, again, it's such a stupid idea. They're supposed to be completely opposite to each other.
Yeah, well, they're not opposite. They share commonalities. And so the commonalities,
I hope people are working him out, because he's a snake, a true snake, I think that guy is.
Do you reckon? Has he said anything at Davos yet, at that awful bloody WEF place? Has he been there? I know he's supposed to be visiting.
I think he did release a statement, and it was kind of the usual stuff you'd expect from him, but sort of pretty much anti the whole kind of global WEF Davos thing. So but no, I haven't heard anything else from him, but I haven't really been paying attention, to be honest with you.
Esra Levant and Avi cornered him and asked him to apologise to Tommy Robinson, which he did a half-hearted apology for what he'd said about Tommy, but apparently Tommy's still going to do the court case, but nonetheless. But that brings me on to Avi and your other man from Rebel News. They're doing their normal up at Davos and really throwing it at him. And I saw Harry. Is it Harry Fink? No, Nigel
Larry
Fink. Larry Fink. Thank you. And a couple of the other BlackRock people and some other ones. They've really done a real good number on them this year.
Yeah. Have you seen that fella following Bill Gates? Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that. What's that?
Yeah, it's a bloke following Bill Gates. Gates is just smiling like a toddler, and he's surrounded by security people. And the bloke's asking, well, Mr. Gates, you have a lot to say about science, but aren't you just a computer salesman? What do you actually know about science? Gates says nothing, of course, all the way through. His security people tried to push his interlocutor away. Gates is just smiling, and I'm thinking to myself, whoa, 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 whoa. There's something wrong with. There's something serious. I mean, we knew it anyway, but there's something seriously wrong with Bill Gates. I mean, how come he's king of the world? You know, he just invented a shit operating system, which he nicked from someone anyway.
Yeah, he didn't invent it. His genius was in the marketing of it, not the
Yeah,
invention.
yeah. I misspoke. He didn't invent it, but he monetized it, or he nicked it basically. Yeah.
The fella that was talking to him, was it that was either Rebel News or was it the British guy then?
It's a little British guy, yeah.
It was the British guy, right? Because I was going to say there's a British guy that's gone out there and he's making the rounds and getting a name for himself at the moment as well. He also stopped the Canadian leader with, and I've forgotten the name of the actress that was with him.
Oh God, yeah,
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry, thank you.
Trudeau.
Trudeau's with Katy Perry, isn't he? I thought Trudeau was married, the little rat. Yeah.
Obviously not anymore. Divorced,
right?
I think, separated.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. Maybe his ex missus didn't like him doing the blackface business, which nobody seems to be bothered about.
The funny thing is, him and Katie were holding hands at the beginning of the interview. By the end, she'd stormed off, so I think he might be down another one now.
Yeah, well,
good.
Well, what's wrong with Canadians, eh? Why have they voted for this twant again when he was completely against Canadians? I mean, we were support the Canadian truckers, right? As I said earlier, truckers are one of the hearts of the nation. They keep the supply lines open, and the way the truckers were treated in Canada was absolutely outrageous. With having their bank accounts stopped, with being pretty much assaulted, called racist, called all kinds of names. And why is Trudeau still in power? Who voted for him? What the hell is wrong with people? They would vote for someone who's so anti-Canadian.
Well, he's not still in power, though, is he? I don't think. Carney's now the Prime Minister.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I get that. Why the big question? Why people voting for these? But it seems to be happening everywhere. It's like, why in this country, in London, are people 3 times voted for Sadiq Khan? Why in America are all these Democrats still getting voted into governorships? And how did Mamdani get voted in as the mayor of New York?
Yeah.
And how all these kind of really, radical left, as Trump would describe them, radical left Democrats getting voted in these, state governors and
yeah.
mayors.
I know. I misspoke about Trudeau. I know he's not Prime Minister now.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Same's going on in Australia as well. Australia is pretty much as fucked as we are at the moment.
That's my fault. I've only just realised he's not leader of Canada anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's Carney, isn't it?
I don't even know that person.
Yeah, as Bron said earlier, Mark Carney was ex Bank of England governor. What are these people? What are they doing? What's this revolving door thing? Are any working class people in charge? People who know things, people who can do things, people who can sort things out. No.
And that's exactly who Trump is, a builder, someone who builds buildings and manages companies that builds buildings and does international deals. I mean, that's the kind of person you want in charge of your country, someone who actually knows the ins and outs of finance, of how to bring a business up, how to make people work for you and all of that stuff.
But capitalism, capitalists, but.
Yeah, look at those leaders. They're the most unmanly, uncharismatic. The likes of Starmer and Trudeau and all of these. They're beta males. They're You imagine taking them back to the days of King Henry VIII. Now I know Henry VIII was an absolute tyrant, and I'm not going to praise him, but Jesus Christ, I bet he could fight his way out of a bar brawl. Do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah,
and
most
these
certainly.
sort of these half-hearted men. No offense, I want a bit more of a man in charge. You know?
Yeah, or a tough woman, but I don't really care. But oh dear. But I think at the heart of this, we're looking at bureaucrats. We're looking at bureaucrats, pen pushers, paper shufflers, spreadsheet lovers. We're looking at people who rely more on statistics than the actual real world because they've never done a real job in their bloody lives.
And actually, thanks for pulling me up because I don't actually mean manly. I mean strong. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but even so, we can have strong people and get into positions of power, but even then, if the whole system is working against them, they're not going to be able to do anything. This is the problem. It's not just having strong people in those positions. It's being able to change the system.
Yeah, on the contrary, Bronze, I think when you look around Europe, most of our leaders, and again, I don't mean any disrespect to any of the sexes here, but it's just an observation that I've made. In Europe, our leaders are predominantly females. And when you go outside of Europe, it's not that way. It's always men. It's 99% of the time men. Men have they just have a way about them that they're more into leadership. They're more into controlling people, however you want to word it. Again, because I don't want to make it about a sex war. That's not what I mean to make.
Yeah, well, all I say to you is
make that observation.
Yeah, well, as a counter observation, all I say to you, in this country, especially, Margaret Thatcher, okay, she had bigger balls than most men. But also, I mean, even if you look at the history of the monarchy, our three longest-serving and probably strongest and most successful members of the monarchy have all been women. The two Elizabeths, Elizabeth I, Elizabeth II, and Victoria.
And that's why I don't want it to be a sex thing, because it's not always the case. But women generally are more feely, emotional, and more. They bring emotion to their life skills. We don't. We bring logic. And when you look at leadership,
it's not so black and white. That's a bit too black.
I know.
And white.
No, I know, and I do appreciate that. But or just saying the feminine powers. I don't think the feminine powers work in leadership. Look at the last 20 years. It's all, oh, poor minority, poor this, poor that. Oh, we've got to give money to them. I'm sorry, that's not running a family. That's not how a family is run.
I think that's slightly different because that's just putting people in positions of power simply because they are women or they are whatever, a certain ethnic minority. But it doesn't mean that women aren't as good as doing those sorts of jobs. It just means that the wrong type of people are being put into these positions for the wrong reasons, and that's why we're getting all of this crap and everything falling apart.
I do genuinely. I don't care if people don't like me for it. I do think there is a very different difference. Sorry.
Well, yeah, of course, there's difference between men and women, but I just think you're being a little bit harsh. That's all. I think you're being a little bit too. There's more grey in that argument than there is than you're kind of giving it. I think.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think what we're talking about, and people often say this, is that problem with politics is the wrong people are in charge, and the wrong people can be all kinds of people. I mean, the whole DEI thing has been a disgrace, as I think we discussed last week. There are plenty of capable people with who are full of melanin. I'm thinking of people like Raja Mir. Why isn't he in charge of the grooming gangs disgrace? Raja Mir, do you know Raja Mir? You know Raja?
No, I don't.
Yeah. I know of him. Yeah.
Check him out. Check out Raja Mir.
Well, because if he was in charge of it, they'd actually get to the bottom of it and things would be done. We know that's not what they want. You know, I mean, quite often, you know, government to get something done, people will say, oh, it's a long, slow process, this, that, and the other. But you can see on certain occasions when they want something done quickly, they damn well get it done quickly.
Oh, they do, don't they?
They can do it. They can do things as quickly as they want if they really want to.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Most of the time they choose not to. And that's the fact of it. So, you know, Roger Moore, they wouldn't let him get anywhere near that case.
No, of course they wouldn't.
He would sort it out properly. And people would go to, people would be, you know, important people go to, well, important in inverted commas, would go to prison.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, what's that Mahmood woman saying?
I don't care. Yeah. She can go and
good answer.
She can go and sit on her own face, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. But she's come out with outrageous stuff anyway. God, dearie me.
Well, a few kind of commentators which I've come across over the last week. A few people have been. I've listened to a few people from other countries apart from the US and the UK, places like South Africa and Australia, and they're kind of saying the same sort of thing. They're saying they're just not bothered with news from their own countries anymore. To them, the only really important news is what's happening around Trump and what Trump's doing. That's the only news which really interests them anymore. And I'm starting to feel that way now. It's like, I don't care about this country. It's like, there's no point in paying much attention to what's going on in this country.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything anymore. It's just so worthless.
Don't lose it, man. Don't lose it. This is the greatest country in the world. Don't lose it, man. Because once you don't, I know I'm the squatty, but this is a great country. It was a great country. Whatever's going wrong, we are so privileged to live in this country, to have been born in this country, because we do have a long history. We're one of the oldest countries on the planet. We brought the world into the Industrial Revolution. We stopped slavery. We are, you know, we are amazing.
Yeah, I'm not, you know, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that all the political talking heads now are just not worth listening to at the moment. You know, it's just like, why am I listening to this? This is not relevant to me at all anymore.
And that's why no one is anymore, I think. Well, they're certainly getting angry with it, but
well, yeah, that's another reason, because that's all it does to me now is make me angry, and I don't want to I don't want to be in that state of mind. So it's, you know, is there anything we can actually really do? Does voting really going to help us? Viv says no.
I'll say no. Yeah,
perhaps I know what he might have a bit more of a sort of a nuanced outlook on that. Possibly not. But
you tell that to the Iranian women that are taking off their hijabs or whatever you call those things at the moment. They're fighting till the death. You don't. Never. I suppose that's what I'm trying to say. We can't give up. Those idiots in that place are not. They're not representative of us.
Yeah, I'm not giving up.
No.
But I'm just not paying any attention to any of the noise anymore, because it doesn't serve any purpose at the moment.
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't do me any good. It's not helping me.
Fair enough. I see. Yeah.
I think that there are things, you know, I constantly go on about this, but I think there are things we can do locally to make a difference. You know, we can use cash at all times. If the establishment, what you do is you order the thing you want, they bring it to you, and you pay in cash, and they say, oh, we don't pay cash. And you say, oh, okay. If you're in a restaurant and you pay and they say, oh, we don't take cash, so okay, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about that? Because I've only got cash. You take it or you don't. I've done that, boss, paying for stuff, and they're stumped and they take cash. They have to.
I got a free coffee and croissant out of that way, because she was like, they didn't take my money at the beginning. This is quite a nice area around here, so I expect they don't expect problems. But I had my coffee, I had my croissant, went to pay for it. They said, oh, we don't accept cash. And I said, well, I've got no other way of paying. And she said, well, I don't know what to do then. So I walked out.
I think places are becoming a bit more wise to that now. They're actually putting notices up saying cash not accepted. So if
yes, they are.
comes,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, if it comes to that, and you say, I mean, quite often that they'll tell you beforehand or notify you somewhere or another that don't take cash. But if it comes to the fact that you order it and you drink it, and then you go to pay cash and they can't accept it, even if they've got a notice in the window, what can they do? If you have,
that's what I thought. Yeah,
if all you got is cash, it's like, well, it's like you're not refusing to pay for it, but you have legal tender. So
yeah, and it is legal. Say you just, I mean, I would quite simply say, I'm illiterate, and are you discriminating against me under the terms, under the terms of the 2010 Equalities Act? Because you could be liable for a rather large fine.
Yeah, well, you could say 4D. You might this would be really work for you. You could say that they could say, well, there's a sign in the window there. It says cash not accepted, and you can say, well, I'm dyslexic. I thought that's
yeah. That's right. That's right. Yep. So you do that. You also buy local.
Yeah, I do that anyway.
Yep, I do that anyway. Secondly, you can say, well, thirdly, you can ask about security. You can say, well, what data do you hold on me? You can give them if you want, I always say this, but you can give them a subject access request. You say, I'm sorry, but you are subject to, you will be delivered a subject access request to hand over all the personal data you hold on me.
Do they not charge for that? Do they not charge for that though, for the costs of doing it? Is there
the establishment?
Yeah. So you go to a supermarket and on your way out, because they've got cameras everywhere. So I'd like all that data you've acquired while I've been in here. Right.
No,
okay.
check it out. Information Commissioner's Office is shit because it's part of the government. But even so, you can still get a subject access request document from there and fill it in. Just say, there we go, fella.
No, I thought they could charge like an administration cost for actually, doing all of that, getting all the data and sending it to you or however.
Well, they may be able to, but it depends how many you give in. Depends how many people do it. I don't know. I don't know that side of things actually.
Right.
I'm not really kind of bothered because I'm not going to pay it anyway. You can stop paying your bills. Just stop. Don't be scared. Not much they can do. Stop paying your council tax. Don't like council tax. It's too much. Stop paying. Stop paying it. Don't like it. Don't pay.
Actually, I see silver is still going up.
Silver's going up. Buy silver, buy gold. Yeah.
I bought some more silver the other day.
We might not be using fiat currency soon.
Yeah. So, we're being optimistic now. That somebody's destroyed the portal in Ipswich.
Oh, really?
Really? Yeah. Yeah, they don't know who did it, but it's been all blocked off.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. I know. Because a lot of the market traders, there's a market on what is it, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they've been moaning about they can't get down the avenue to unload their gear, the vegetables and whatever, and the fish they're selling. I reckon they just backed into it, Oh dear, oh no, what a shame. Never mind.
Yeah. So what 4D, what is the price of silver at the moment?
Let me just
got it to hand.
I have actually 2 seconds. It is 71.43.
Wow, 71. Because
I bought gone above 60.
I did buy a bit more a few days ago, and it was around 69.70. So yeah, it's gone up since then. Great.
Yeah, some people said, "Oh, this is just a thing; it's going to come crashing back down." But no, it's just slowly carrying on, going up.
Well, if it comes crashing back down, I'm going to buy a load more. That'd be great.
Yeah. Well, I'm really interested at the moment. I've been looking at 5 years, 10 years, and I looked at a 30-year thing. But this last year and a half, for gold and silver, is just unprecedented. It's gone up so much compared to the last 50 years. It's that this can't be I'm no, as I said, I'm no financial guru. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I don't think this is a flash in the pan anyway.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think
things are moving into a different area these days. We're moving something new. It's not like we're kind of just sort of, this is a blip and it's going to just revert back to how it was.
No, there's a lot of people awake. A lot of people are getting are awake now.
Yeah. Trump brought up another really interesting thing that I think is going to have shockwaves around the world. He said he's banning businesses or corporations owning homes because, in his opinion, the only reason to own a home is if you're a person. Makes perfect sense. Now, that's going to have such massive ramifications on the housing market. So he basically stood up and said, we are not going to become like we are not going to become a rental market. I want Americans to own homes before it's too late, within their lifespan, and to enjoy the profit that they get from their homes. I'm going to ban all of companies from owning. So people have been floating out that you won't be allowed to have more than 5 houses in America, but whatever.
Why do corporations need to own a house?
Because corporation is classed as a person.
Well, apparently the reason for it is because of tax on depreciation. Apparently, if you as a person own a house in America, you don't get any tax relief from the depreciation in your house. But if you're a business and you buy 50 houses, you can offset the depreciation in tax. So it's another loophole. So even though, and I expect the same kind of goes on here. There'll be some things like that, but it's all a con. It's all a joke anyway. But see, he's really, it's big things like that he's sort of taking on.
Yeah.
That destroyed BlackRock in America. So I think that they are the main sort of leaser and buyer of homes and properties, aren't they?
Yeah. Billy Gates, king of the world, has been buying up farmland like mad.
Yeah. China's been buying up farmland as well.
Yeah.
So sorry, guys. I just want to know. Time's pushing on. Have we got time for Viv's bookshelf?
Oh yeah.
Viv, I think it's time for Viv's bookshelf. What have you been reading this week?
Okay, I've been reading the biography of Patricia Highsmith, the American thriller writer, who is actually sui generis. She's her own person. I don't know. She's put in crime section in books, the crime ghetto, but she's more than that. And it's an amazing biography. And I'm thinking, my God, this woman destroyed herself. She's continually falling into relationships. The psychology behind this is mad. She falls into these relationships, and I think she didn't realize that she is better off alone. She was searching. She's lesbian. She's looking for these women, this perfect woman that will make her happy and all that. Never found them. Just chose the wrong person all the time. And I'm thinking, why are you doing this? Why are you destroying yourself like this?
I think some people are just predisposed to do that. Some people just do that. I kind of wondered if I'm that sort of person as well, because I always seem to choose the wrong women.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to sound like, I was going to say the same. That's why I stay away now. But no, genuinely, I got myself into so many problems, and you've heard my sort of private life story. So yeah, I genuinely have felt like that a lot of the time. Like, I am terrible at finding partners. Terrible at it.
I know. I am as well. I've been terrible.
So yeah, maybe it's not such a maybe it's not such a hard thing to comprehend.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I know. I've got kids and all that, but it all turned to shit. And the people I really like are not interested in me really, and I don't blame them for that. I'm not exactly an easy person, but I'm living in some ways, although despite the downside and the depressions and low moods, I'm living a better life on my own. I do. I accept that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So that's what I've learned. That this woman, Patricia, Highsmith, who I do sympathise with her, although she's a terrible woman in many ways, but a brilliant writer. But I'm thinking, why are you doing this to yourself, Pat? Why are you doing this to yourself?
Yeah, live and learn, isn't it? Some people need to do these things to learn.
She clearly needed a penis. Let's be honest.
Well, she did have a go. She did have a go. There are bits in the biography that she says, she had a go. She tried to cure herself with the lesbian thing. She did all sorts, but it didn't really work. It didn't help her. But at the same time, Patricia Highsmith, if you don't know, wrote Strangers on the Train, classic 20th century stuff, which is filmed by Hitchcock. And then she did the Tom Ripley novels. So Ripley, Underwater, and don't know if you've seen any of the Ripley films.
No.
That all comes from her work.
That's not the Talented Mr. Ripley, is it?
That's right. That's one of them. Yeah. That's the first one. Yeah.
What was that one about? Remind me what that's about.
Tom Ripley is an American who is hired by the dad of someone who's gone missing in Italy, who's a kind of rich, spoilt kid called what's he called? Anyway, but he's hired by someone, and he on the way over there, he gets there. He's on the boat. He gets to Italy. He meets this person, Dickie. That's his name, and he's got this real attraction to this person because of the wealth, the background, etc. Eventually, he kills him and takes his identity.
Oh, yes. I have seen it. Yes, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's got is it Leonardo DiCaprio and Jude Law? Is it those two?
That's one of them. That was one of the versions. Yeah, there's been loads of Ripley. There was a Netflix, I think, which I didn't see. So Ripley's her most popular character. He's amoral. He's a very modern person, he's shifting identities. He doesn't really know his real self. To make a real self, he builds his character, his identity on other people, even to the extent of taking over the identity of another person. It's really interesting and weird and modern, We see that with people like the trans cult who are building their identity on something they're not.
It's funny, that's kind of what Peter Sellers described himself as, didn't he? He didn't really know who he was. He was most comfortable when he was taking on the role of a character in a script or something.
It's a really modern thing because we're told that we're not good enough. We're constantly told this by television, by magazines, by influencers, by the media. We're not good enough. We need to be something else. You need to do your hair a certain way. You need to do this. You need to dress like this. You need to behave like this to be an authentic human. Of course, meaning that you're not going to be authentic at all because only you can, can choose that identity. It's all about the interior choice, not an exterior choice. Ripley, weirdly, has an interior choice. And he chooses to be someone else because he's not satisfied with himself. And that's very common. So many people aren't happy with themselves because they've been told to be unhappy. I mean, would you tell a medieval peasant that? But they just look at you and think, what? What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, I think,
good point.
I mean, the thing about people not being happy with themselves, that manifests itself in so many ways. Which is kind of evident in a lot of human behavior these days, which isn't really that recognizable. It doesn't necessarily translate back to that person is unhappy with themselves because they're acting in this way. But I think that's a really common thing,
Yeah, I do. So Highsmith was, spot on, I think, really. I love her books. They're mental.
Did you, sorry, Viv, I just, a specific reason I want to ask you this. Did you ever read a book called Chariot of the Gods by Eric von Daniken?
Yeah, many years ago. Yeah.
Because he recently died. I noticed in an obituary that he had passed away.
Yeah.
So, and that was the book he was famous for, wasn't it?
Yeah, much derided, but interesting.
Very much derided. So I used to have a copy of that. I bought it in a where I used to live, they used to have a second-hand bookshop there. I used to go in, and it's run by this African guy, quite possibly a Christian African. And they used to have all of these old paperback books for like 50p. I used to go in and buy loads of them. And I found that. I thought, oh, yeah, I'll get that. I'll get round to reading it one day. And I took it up to the counter. And he looked at it and he read it. And he just said, was God an alien? And he just laughed, sort of in derision.
Yeah, but this is why 4D is into aliens. The whole thing in Chariot of the Gods is alien genesis of humanity.
Well, yeah, it's ancient civilizations being basically kind of either instructed or created by alien influence. Like the Mayans and the Aztecs, so on and so forth.
Did they ever make that into a film or a movie or anything?
Well, they probably did, actually. I dare say there's loads of von Daniken stuff on YouTube and other platforms. Yeah, I'm sure there are. Must be certainly. Oh, he died, did he? Yeah.
He did, a week or so ago. I just saw him on the obituaries, along with Brigitte Bardot. She's another one who passed away, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
She was pretty based as well in her later years. She was very much kind of patriotic and anti-immigration and quite, staunchly Vive la France. But,
the Très Français and all that. Does anyone know about Uri Geller? Geller's been going on about the reason Trump wants Antarctica because he's got one of the islands, and Trump wants his island, Uri Geller's island.
Uri Geller's got an island up there, is he?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. Do you know? I wasn't going to bring it up, but because I think it's another hour-long conversation, but there's a lot of ET stories. There's a lot of stuff that goes hand in hand with Antarctica and, believe it or not, with Greenland. I'm sure that's not the reason, but I've been watching some stuff. There's lots of stories about a Slender Man and the sort of the origins of Slender Man and bases under the ice there. So who knows?
Yeah. I mean, as far as Uri Geller goes, I think the guy's just an out and out charlatan. I do. I don't think he's good. There's anything special about him whatsoever. I just think he's a con artist.
They used him for remote viewing. He says.
Yeah, he says. He can't back up any of his claims.
No. But he's got rich from it. So
he's
there
a
you go.
Yeah, he's a grifter, a successful grifter, but a grifter nonetheless, I believe.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Time's pushing on, gents. Carry on. Sorry.
No.
But carry on.
It is. I was going to quit. No, I won't bother. I was going to say, how's Frodo Baggins doing? Have you read any more of that?
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm still in the early days, to be honest. Okay. I mean, I've taken over with this biography at the moment. I'm just like a gadfly or a moth. Another light goes on, I fly to it and get burnt by that, and then think, go back to the original light. So yeah, of course. I'm not gonna drop it. No way.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
This week's Vivs bookshelf. So who have we got now to commemorate? We've moved on from Frank Carson, I believe. Have we not?
Yeah.
So after his bookshelf, I think it's his choice as well.
I'm star of this week's podcast. Okay. I'm choosing. Matron.
Haven't we
you're going to go for Kenneth?
Haven't we done Kenneth? We've done Kenneth, haven't we?
No, we did.
No, it was one of the. I think we've all mentioned it. We've all said, "Oh yeah, we've got to do Kenneth Williams," and we kind of not got round to it.
No, we didn't do Kenneth. No.
Okay.
No,
Kenneth
we
Williams,
did
then.
Sid. We did Sid.
We did Sid James. Yeah, we did Hattie Jakes, didn't we?
We did Hattie. Yeah.
All right, Kenneth Williams. All right. Well, we've probably covered half the ground on him.
I know.
By talking about Sid James and Hattie Jakes.
I know, but we go deeper into his whole psychology, and it's absolutely tragic. It's tragic, terrible.
Yeah, very, very strange person. Very strange individual.
Very strange person. Saw him several times on the street. I had a job, actually, believe it or not, and this is true. I had a job about the time I moved to London, early 80s. I had this job, and I was counting people on level crossings. Can you believe that? I had a clicker, and you count certain people. You count elderly, you count disabled, you count whatever. It's an idea from Westminster Council to improve the accessibility, early kind of DEI stuff, accessible, not that equality kind of thing, to see. Basically, you know, should we make the traffic lights go longer if there's lots of old people struggling across the road? So we'd be counting them. And I'd often count Kenneth in Marylebone.
Yeah, he used to live there. He used to live right opposite Madden Two Swords.
Yeah.
On next to Baker Street Station. Yeah.
I'd see him wandering around. What a miserable old git.
Oh, well, really?
He was miserable. His idea of I don't know if you call it fun, but what he really preferred to do, because apparently his where he lived was completely unfurnished. It had no furnishings in it at all. He just used to have a chair in the middle of the room and a single light bulb. And his idea of relaxation was to sit in this chair under a single light bulb reading a book. And that's what he wanted to do. That was his kind of happy space.
Wow. All right.
God, sounds like me.
Yeah. And he was actually a homosexual, but he became asexual, didn't he? He was originally homosexual, but then for some reason he just stopped becoming sexual.
I don't think he ever went with anyone.
No.
It doesn't appear so. He was terribly guilty about all that, and but he was really loved and respected actually by his colleagues, especially the Carry On crew. You know, he's a miserable old devil, as I said, but you know, he had a lot of love and respect from colleagues.
Well, there is a film on YouTube. It's a dramatization of the Carry On. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called now, but I searched it out when we were talking about Sid James, and it's it's kind of a story of all the Carry On actors during that time, and I think there was some animosity between him and Sid James.
Yeah,
but apparently he got on really well with Barbara Windsor. The two of them were really close.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the name of that film now.
I know. Was that the one with Michael Sheen playing Kenneth Williams, which I've not seen?
Was it Michael Sheen? Oh, I can't remember. Whoever played him was very good, but it was kind of miscast because he was really tall, and Kenneth Williams wasn't that tall.
No, I can vouch for that. In real life, I saw him, and he's not. He was 5'5", maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But,
and as I've often said, I grew up with him doing Will-O the Wisp.
Oh yeah,
I remember that as a cartoon when I was growing up. So, which is so totally different to everything else that you know about him.
Yeah. That was later on, wasn't it? That was Will-O the Wisp. Yeah.
He could have been a slight bit of autism in there when you say about the sitting under the light reading a book. Very and not really knowing his sexual preferences and sort of going asexual. There could have been a little bit of autism there.
Yeah, very likely. Very, very interesting that. I hadn't thought about that. I mean, I know he went off to with the playwright Joe Orton, who was later murdered by his boyfriend. A hideous kind of saga. They made quite a good film about this quite long ago now. The Joe Orton story. He wrote. What did he write? But anyway, they took him off to Morocco, but he was appalled by all this. Apparently, about this shagging Arab boys. He wasn't. He just wasn't into it. You know.
Oh, that's probably what put him off the whole
gay thing.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I just think I don't know. I think he's just maybe he was generally asexual. Maybe who knows? People are strange, you know, and that's why we talk about them. That's why we talk about these comedians, and so many of the comedians, British comedians, their lives are full of tragedy in the background. We remember them as laughing, happy, funny people, but their private lives pretty sad, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean the Carry On crew, they were a bit of a motley crew, that lot. You know, very very differing types of people. Charles Hawtrey was very tragic as well. Very tragic.
Yeah,
Right?
wasn't he?
Sid James was just a womanizer who just got completely hung up on Barbara Windsor, became obsessed with Barbara Windsor.
Yeah.
So like you got the whole Hattie Jakes, John Le Mesurier relationship, and all sorts of stuff going on there. So
yeah. I mean, I was thinking about it today, and I thought, Kenneth, we should explore a bit. Maybe only a week, but we've done a lot of the Carry On stuff, and to Americans, maybe it's not. If we have American listeners, it's maybe not so familiar, but it's a British institution. The Carry On films. So,
I mean, to his credit, I mean, he was never usually billed as the main character in any of the Carry On films. He was a regular, he was a staple. But he did kind of end up having most of the memorable lines in Carry On films. He had the from in Carry On Cleo, the infamy. They've all got it infamy.
yeah, I know.
And the like you say, all matron, that one, and of course sorry,
Carry On Screaming.
Carry On Screaming. Yeah, frying tonight. and also, of course, Carry On Up the Khyber. I don't know though.
Yeah.
If people who are not acquainted with the films probably haven't got a clue what we're talking about, but if you know the films, you'll understand how funny that is.
Yeah, I mean, Carry On films, in a way, it's like a British family. They're all mixed up, and they don't really not necessarily get on, but it's a kind of panoply of British characteristics of the time.
Yeah, it's a seaside postcard, the cheeky, seaside postcard humor, isn't it? Those are double entendres and sexual innuendos.
Yeah,
it's all kind of good, clean fun at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we discussed poor old Kenneth. Basically, great love of his life was his mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to have a good deep dive into him next week. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Accused of killing his father as well.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh, really? Right.
His father drank a cough mixture, which actually had some kind of acid in it.
Wow. So I guess
interesting. We'll have a look into that, right?
Yeah, I guess he had a troubled upbringing. I would assume.
Well, they all seem to have, don't they? But I don't know about the upbringing. I'll have to look further into this. The diaries got very popular. The diaries were released, and it just showed a very kind of terribly troubled, depressed fella. This bloke just shambling around. And when I used to see him on the street as well, you wouldn't look twice at him. He was wearing a shabby old coat, and so it's funny, isn't it? Isn't it funny? Interesting, the public and private personas of people, public perceptions. He was a good old laugh, good old Kenneth. Everyone loved him. But in private,
he was hugely popular public figure in Britain. Everybody loved him for what he did on the screen, and but in real life he was quite a sad figure.
I know.
Such a contrast,
Yeah. So it's food for thought, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we agreed, Kenneth. Maybe a week. We'll see how it goes. So.
Yeah. I think we'll have a bit to talk about with him. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
Okay. It's that time again.
I've got one for you then. Yeah, I've got one for you. What starts with an E, ends with an E, but only has one letter in it?
Envelope. Yay!
Oh, well done. Well done. What do you call a pig that does karate?
A what? Sorry?
What do you call a pig that does karate?
I don't know.
A pork chop.
Ah.
Oi.
And then lastly, why are pediatricians always so grumpy?
Don't know.
They have little patience.
Oh no.
That's all right.
All right, knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Dishes.
Dishes who?
Dishes a bad joke. I think I was born upside down because my feet smell and my nose runs.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we had a Dalmatian, and one day I decided to join all the dots on its coat. Turns out it was a dog.
Very good. Wow. That's kind of thoughtful. I'll try that next time in the park. If someone, I'll take
sure get the owner's permission.
Yeah. Can I just please? I've got a marker pen. Can I? Is that all right? To join the dots on your dog?
Yeah, kind of abstract, that one.
Yeah, that's all right.
On the subject of dogs, I adopted a dog from the local blacksmith. When we got home, he made a bolt for the door.
Very good.
Well, I've got a quick topical one. Which US state has the smallest soft drinks?
Smallest soft drinks.
Okay.
No idea.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
A contemporary as well.
Do they have ice with those drinks?
Boom,
Hey, hey.
I think they do.
Every. I'm totally unprepared for this as usual. Every site I'm going into wants me to turn off my ad blocker, and that is a kind of joke in a way, but a dark joke and not very funny.
If it's any consolation, Viv, we are completely prepared for your unpreparedness.
Well, I'm going to tell you a dirty joke. All right.
Go on, then.
A man fell in the mud.
Yeah. Oh, I can see that one coming.
You literally have the same 5 or 6 jokes in your head for emergency purposes.
Yeah, I know.
You've had 2 emergency purposes.
He just hopes that our memory is. Yeah, Viv, you just hope that our memory is as bad as yours and that we forget them as well.
That's right. That's exactly right.
There are 3 truths in religion. Jewish people do not recognize Jesus as the Messiah. Protestants do not recognize the Pope as the leader of the Christian faith, and Muslims don't recognize each other in the pub.
Ooh.
No, I'm not laughing. Right.
Engineers have successfully made a car that can run on parsley. They are now attempting to make trains that can run on time.
All these jokes I'm reading, I'm trying to find one. They're all shit.
Most of them. Yeah, you do have to sift through them. There's a lot of. You have to separate the wheat from the chaff.
I'll find the worst one.
You have to separate the toffs from the chavs.
Yeah. What's origin sounds like a parrot?
Carrot.
Oh gosh.
Why is a carrot more orange than an orange?
I don't know.
Nor do I.
Right, that's it. That's got to be a good night of that one then.
I've just typed in the search bar carrot jokes, and this is how low I've sunk. So I'm really sorry about this. Why are carrots never lonely?
Because they can see in the dark. No, that makes no sense. I don't know.
Actually, that's really funny. That's a surrealist joke. Why are carrots never lonely? Because they always come in bunches. No.
Right. Okay.
No, don't like that one. No, don't like that one.
No. Well, I'm on a site that's called Carrot Jokes.
There can't be many carrot jokes, to be fair. Yeah.
Really? I mean, what are you
Mate, there are
expecting?
bloody thousands here. I can't
Yeah.
believe this. There are thousands.
I think you just answered your own question. You know, you're on a site called Carrot Jokes. Really, what can you expect?
But you started the carrot controversy.
I did. Is it my fault?
Yeah, someone started the carrot, the whole
Wasn't
carrot
me, Guy.
tsunami.
Not me. It's turned into a tsunami now.
The carrot tsunami. Yeah.
The carrot carousel.
Where do carrots go for their vacation?
The Caribbean.
Yeah. This is so shit. This site, isn't it? You even
Was
know
that
the
the
answer.
answer?
Yeah.
Was that really the answer?
Yeah,
Oh
it really was. Yeah, it really was.
Oh no. Yeah,
I think I better leave this. Okay, one more.
yeah, go on.
Oh God, these are shit. How do you lead a horse to water? With carrots. I mean, that's not even funny. What?
That's not even a joke.
It's not even a joke. Okay.
The worst part about that joke is you told us they were carrot jokes and we still didn't get the answer.
Well, that can't be the answer. It's got to be something a bit more, ingenious than that.
I'm not kidding you. There's a whole site of carrot jokes, and it goes on and on. I'd like to make a vegetable joke, but no one would carrot all. What does that mean? I'm so great. No one would carrot all. Carrot all. I see. Yeah. In life, learn to be yourself. Don't carrot what people think. This is terrible. This person should be banned.
Stop now, immediately, Viv. Stop immediately.
Off. It's gone.
Yeah, that's it. I'm off as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, gentlemen.
That was intense. That was intense. Anyway,
it was. I just have to get myself back off the floor at the moment. I need to go and sit in a dark room and calm down.
I'm really sorry about that.
It's Carrotageddon. You've unleashed Carrotageddon upon us.
Yeah, I know. Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Well, could I wish you a really wonderful week, and we will speak again on this same day.
Yes.
In a week's time.
Same time, same place next week.
Yep. Until then, hasta la vista.
Yep. Adios and all those goodbye things. Bless you.
Yeah. All right. Take it easy, guys.
You too. Yeah.
About 10, when was it? 10, 15 years ago, I worked for an IT company, and they got this new doorbell system fitted for their office, right? And the workshop. And it was so ridiculous. They said, don't ring us if you want to come in, because they charge us every time the doorbell rings.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
How insane is that?
It's outsourced, and what the actual pitiful hell is this when you've got a doorbell that's outsourced to a company that charges you to ring the doorbell?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's
so
crazy.
God. Anyway,
the point? Get a door knocker, just like the old days.
Oh, just get a doorbell that connects to the reception desk. That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's it's not difficult. Go down to bloody Screwfix or whatever. Get one of them.